Hi, I'm Andrew from Foreman Design. We sell Mondane watches and wall clocks, and that wall clock up there is a Mondane Stop to Go. If you've just bought a Mondane Stop to Go clock and it's not reading the right time, like that one, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to set the hands so that it will read the right time. The process of setting up the Mondane Stop-to-Go clock is not a complex one, but the instructions might confuse a few people. It certainly has. Initially it confused me a little bit, and also a few of my customers have been confused by it. So I'm just going to try and work through it with you, show you how easy it is to set the clock up. The first time you put a battery in this, you're going to notice that I think the second hand on this clock at the moment is going to stop around here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so that shows you this clock is misaligned. The real time, the actual time is 4:43. That's showing 4:15, and the second, it thinks that midday is somewhere around here as far as this clock's concerned. So we need to do a complete realignment. And what we need to do first is make sure there aren't any other stop-to-go clocks in the area or in the room space. If there are, just take the batteries out of those ones or move this one away from that clock, because I have had the circumstance where I was showing a client in the store how to align her hands, and at first I didn't understand why her app on her phone wasn't controlling the clock right next to it when it seemed to be doing all the things right on the screen. And what I found that it was actually messing with this clock, which was right behind me, so I didn't see that happen. So just be mindful of that. What you will need is the Mondane Stop-to-Go app, which is available for Android and iPhone. This is on an iPhone. So the first thing we do is we just start this up. Now, you're usually greeted with this page here. You'll know the two are connected. There may be a connection. This has already been connected to this, so there may be a very simple sort of connection thing that goes on initially. But what you'll find is it'll display the temperature in the room or where the clock is. So it's showing 23 degrees Celsius at the moment. That tells you that the two are connected. So we hit the little gear icon down here, which gets us to settings. And what we want to have is the stop to go on, automatic time on, and then you can select temperature units, whether you want degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. You'll notice there are realign hands and set languages, or set language. It's already set to English for here. We're going to be using realign hands. Set hour manually is not shown. It'll only be shown if you don't use automatic time. And that way you can actually adjust all of that manually. So if you're in a bit of a strange time zone, that might be applicable for you. Or if you don't have access to the clock always, or the clock talking to the phone for readjustment, then you might need to use that. So, but typically we want that off. We don't want that shown. And then we just simply hit the realign hands. You've got a couple of options here, adjust seconds and adjust minutes. So we need to do both, and we don't need to, we have a misspelling here, don't worry about that, you're in the right space. So the sort of things we're looking at, we're going to do seconds first, and what we need to do is move that second hand to midday. So we can press this, it just indexes it once at a time. If I press and hold that, it goes to 10. I have to lift my hand off, it's not going to keep advancing it. It advances at 10 seconds at a time. I can keep my finger down, it's not going to do anything. Do that again and again. And the only reason I went past midday is just to show this process. So now we just do this, and we now have the second hand where it should be for when the stop-to-go mechanism comes into play. Now, next thing we have to do is adjust the time. Actually, not adjust the time. We have to, there's two different things. We have 4:46 as the actual time, but we're not actually setting the correct time here. What we need to do is set a time here that matches up to this part here. And this is referred to as the two pickers. If you look in your instructions, I think item 3, page 5 of the instruction manual that I have, it refers to set the two pickers and match the time here, something to that effect. This is the two pickers. Hours, you've got 0 all the way to 11. And then minutes, you have 0, 15, 30, 45. So, again, we've got a time of 4:46. I'm not interested in that. I'm just going to prove the point that the two don't mean anything. They're not related to one another at this stage by simply stepping forward. Okay, I've just made a mistake there, and that's a trap for old players there. I have to adjust that to minutes first. So let's get this back. let's just do this. Too much talking and not enough concentrating like I just did then. We'll do this part again. So this is a warts and all video, this one. All right, now I need to just go like this. Okay, let's swap to minutes. I have on this clock, it's what, 16 minutes past 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and set the hands here at 4:45. Now, actually I won't. I'm going to do a little bit more than that. I think I'm going to just change the time. I'm just going to advance it quite a bit, and I'll explain why I'm doing that in a moment. So I just want to show you, because the actual time is 4:47. So let's go a little bit beyond that. And there's a couple of reasons for this, for doing this. So that's kind of where the actual time is, but we're not concerned about that. Let's just keep it going. And I'm going to go, this time I'm actually going to line it up with 5:15. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep going because I missed that too, because I'm not really concentrating. So what we do here, I'm going to go for actually 6 o'clock. Try another one. And actually the reason I'm doing that is because I'm sitting right behind this clock, and there are actually 4 little incremental steps for each minute. So I'm actually want to line that up on the 12. Okay, so now I just do this. Let it settle. So I want the second hand lined up on the 12. That's pretty good. All right, I just happen to have 6 p.m. I could have any time as long as the minutes are either on 0, on 15, on 30, or on 45, as you can see here. So I'm going to set that to 0, and I'm going to set this to 6. So 6, 0, that's that time. I've set the second hand, I've set the minute hand. Now I'm going to hit Save Realignment. And it says this could take up to 2 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And that's because what it has to do, it has to go all the way around. It only goes in one direction, it doesn't go backwards. So if it's if the time now is actually 4:49, that has to cycle all the way around. So what I'm going to do now is I'll keep quiet for a moment and I'll just speed the video up. Okay, so that has now lined itself up. It's showing 4:52. We've done as much as we can with this app, so let's just turn that off, and I'll put my clock up, and let's turn that sideways. Oopsie. So now we can compare the actual time and see when it changes. Now, with the stop to go, that second hand actually takes 58 seconds to do a revolution, and it waits for 2 seconds. So it's reasonably accurate, but you don't use this as a timer because it won't be as accurate as, say, using something like this. This is going to be indicative, but it will the minute and hour will be accurate. So that's going to be, if you notice, 55, and that was showing 53. So it's going to be ahead of that, and it's going to stop now, and then there we go. At 0, it advanced. So that is nice and accurate. The thing you've got to remember with using this with the app is you can switch the app off like that on an iPhone. If from time to time the time on this will drift, every few days I actually come in and I just turn the app on and I let the two talk to one another, and sometimes you'll notice that it will do something like this and do an adjustment. There we go. It's just done a minor adjustment. It just does that anyway. If the time is a little bit ahead of what the actual time is, this thing will start to go around, and it has to come all the way around, because remember, it only goes in one direction, does not come back. It only goes clockwise, not anti-clockwise. So if the time here is in advance of the actual time, this will go all the way around, 12 hours all the way around to come back to where it should be. If it's a little bit behind, then it will just do a little adjustment and it'll be spot on. So that's all you need to remember. When it comes to things like daylight saving, If your app is switched off, then this clock doesn't know that daylight saving has happened. It is only talking to the phone when the app is in the vicinity, when the phone's in the vicinity and the app is on. So when you come to daylight savings time, just make sure that you open up the app on your phone and the clock will actually adjust itself automatically. So I hope that's been a help to you. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to be informed of when we upload new videos. My name's Andrew from Foreman Design. Thanks for watching.